Hi, great that you're here. I'm Mike.
Hi from me as well. I'm Jessica.
Today we talk about a feeling many people know, speaking English without thinking too much. You want to say something, but your head is crowded. You search for words, plan sentences, and then the silence hits. This can feel frustrating. Yet there are other times. Moments when English just flows, no pressure, no plan. That's our topic today.
Maybe this sounds familiar to you. You understand a lot of English, but speaking feels blocked. Not because you know nothing, but because you think too much. Your mind races, your body tenses, and the words freeze. At the same time, there are moments when everything is easy. A quick line at a coffee shop, a sudden chat, a laugh. We will explore these differences together today.
In this episode, we speak calm and slow. You can just listen and relax. It's not about rules, grammar, or perfect lines. It's about daily life, experience, and trust. Speaking English without thinking does not mean you learn nothing. It means you learn to let go and trust what is already inside you.
Exactly. Many people can use more English than they think. When we stop checking every sentence, more freedom often appears. Today, we want to show why less thinking can mean more words. We will also share how to bring this lightness into daily life, step by step.
Okay, Jessica, let's talk about the moments when thinking makes everything hard.
Yeah, do you know that feeling when you sit in a group and it's suddenly your turn?
Oh, absolutely. My heart beats fast. My head hunts for 5 perfect words, but only silence comes.
That happens to me often on phone calls in English. I see the screen ring, think about grammar, and I don't pick up.
You reject the call?
Sometimes. After that, I feel ashamed, of course.
I get that. It happened to me recently at a parent meeting.
Tell me.
The teacher asked if someone could help. I wanted to say yes. In my head, I built a sentence with no mistakes. The pause grew long. Someone else raised a hand. Chance gone.
Oh no, that is exactly how a block feels. You are a spectator in your own movie.
Well said. Why does that happen?
I think we treat language like math. First count, then speak. But talks are living things. They keep moving.
True. While we count, the train moves on.
A story from my youth. I was at a bus stop and wanted to ask the time.
In English?
Yes, even then. I thought, excuse me, what time is it, please? Easy. But then came the thoughts. Article. Tense. Politeness. In the end, I said nothing. The bus was on time. I got on, but I felt small.
Wow, such a tiny sentence can feel so huge.
Exactly. For natives, it's just air. For learners, it's a mountain.
Maybe we also fear judgment. The other person might laugh.
Yes, fear of mistakes is loud. It screams in the head.
And it locks the tongue. Do you know tricks to get faster?
Sometimes breathing helps. 2 seconds in, then just speak.
Sounds simple, but it works.
Or I give myself a mini task. 1 sentence, no matter how crooked.
Be brave with the gap.
Exactly. My friend calls that celebrating mistakes.
Nice picture.
How about you? When was your last head versus tongue duel?
Last week at the grocery store. The checkout line was long. The woman in front of me had trouble with her card. The cashier sighed. I wanted to say he could try my card. In my head, I searched for work, try, tap. After 10 seconds, she paid cash. I said nothing.
And you were upset?
Yes, because I wanted to help.
Maybe your thoughts were faster than the scene.
Yeah, the outside pace was higher.
That shows thinking can be slow.
Ironic, right? We think the mind is fast.
But when we speak, the heart is faster.
Good line. Many listeners know this, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Friends, do you have such empty moments too? Write us.
We read everything you share.
Mike, I wonder, does thinking block only learners or native speakers too?
Good question. My American girlfriend trips sometimes too. For example, when she has to explain a joke.
True. Jokes need timing.
She thinks for a moment. Then the joke dies.
Haha, yeah, I know that.
So it hits many people just for a different reason.
Comforting, right?
Totally.
We are all people with tiny loading bars in the head.
Nice picture. Maybe we can accept those bars.
Yes, instead of hiding them.
But the topic is not over yet.
Next, we talk about relaxed moments when words flow like water.
I look forward to that.
Now we come to the good times, Mike.
Oh yes, times when language feels light like summer air.
Do you have an example where everything felt easy?
Yes. Last month, I met my neighbor in the yard. He was grilling hot dogs. The smell was amazing. I stopped, and we laughed right away. With no plan, I talked about the weather, the meat, even football. The lines came by themselves. No pause, no worry, just talking.
Sounds cozy. What was different from the grocery store?
I was relaxed. No clock, no pressure. The grill crackled. The sun shone. My focus sat on the moment, not on grammar.
So the atmosphere helped.
Exactly. I felt welcome. When a smile is near, you think less about mistakes.
I know that from walking, I often meet older ladies with dogs. We stop, pet the dog, and suddenly I chat 5 minutes about fur care without noticing I'm speaking English.
Nice. The dogs open hearts and mouths.
Right. The focus is on the animal, not the language. That removes fear.
Are there work moments where it flows too?
Yes, in my sewing shop. When I stitch, I explain to clients why a fabric fits. My hands work on their own. My head describes what they do. Because I know the topic, words pour like water.
I know that from coding. When I show colleagues how a part works, I speak faster and freer. The idea is clear. I just describe it.
Interesting. We see a pattern. Known topic, easy place, little time pressure.
Yes. And maybe one small trick. Aim your attention outward.
Explain.
When I watch the balloon outside or the dog, my brain has no power for commas. It just describes the scene.
True. I recall an afternoon in the park. My grandson played with other kids. Parents stood nearby. One asked where I'm from. I normally pause, yet this time I only saw the kids run. I answered at once, told about my home, never paused.
Because your eyes were half on the kids.
Exactly. Multitasking sounds hard, but here it helped.
Have you noticed that music helps?
For you?
Yes. In bars with soft jazz, I talk easier. The rhythm carries the words. I almost speak in beat.
Nice image. For me, it's gentle ocean waves when I'm at the beach. The waves give breaks where I could think, but I don't.
Maybe we need background sound so the brain can't shout.
Good point. Without sound, you hear every inner voice.
And that voice loves to yell, "Watch out, mistake!"
Haha, yes. But with jazz or waves, it whispers softer.
Dear listeners, do you have your own comfort backdrop? A cafe, a forest, a balcony? Write us.
We gladly collect your places of easy words.
Jessica, tell us your longest phase without thinking.
Okay, that was on a bike tour 2 years ago. I rode with 3 friends along the Mississippi. We pedaled 30 miles. During this, we talked about everything: landscape, childhood, food, politics. The legs moved in rhythm, the wind rushed. I heard birds. My tongue moved like the wheel, round and steady. I forgot it was English. Only at night, when we arrived, I thought, wow, that went hours with no plan.
Great. Did you make mistakes?
Sure. I said fishes instead of fish. Nobody stopped me. We laughed, kept riding. The motion kept us moving.
Movement is a good teacher.
Yes, sometimes we need engines, feet, wheels, hands.
Or a grill?
Exactly.
What about online meetings? You sit still before a screen.
True. In video calls, many stay quiet. But I have a trick. I set a glass of water next to me and sip often. The small move relaxes me. Then I talk on.
I sometimes play with a pen. Spin, click, then speak.
So small gestures replace the big setting.
Yes. You create micro-atmosphere.
Another point, humor. If someone cracks a joke, I'm in flow at once.
Because laughter breaks the ice.
Right? Last week at a language meetup, a man said his English was like cheese, full of holes. Everyone laughed, me included. After that, we spoke freely. Mistakes became cheese holes so normal.
Great image. Humor lifts the weight.
Mike, do you think time of day matters?
Absolutely. In the morning, I need longer for words. After coffee, I bubble. At night, when I'm tired, it happens again. I don't think, I just talk.
So a curve like a U, slow, fast, free again.
Exactly. Our brain has daily moods.
I'm best late morning because the head is fresh. Yet very late, when numbers dance, I speak open and free. No energy left for control.
That shows each person must find their moment.
Yes, language is like a river. You jump in at the right spot.
And once inside, don't think about swimming all the time.
Else you sink.
Very poetic.
Thanks.
Last year I was at a small music festival. 3 days, camping, many bands. On the second night I sat with strangers by a campfire. One played guitar, we sang, then each told a short travel story. I, the only non-native, spoke 10 minutes about my train ride across Texas. I described cars, smells, old stations, people with bags. Words flew like sparks from the fire. No one corrected me, all listened. After my tale, they clapped. In my tent later, I noticed I never searched for a verb. The music, the flames, the dark sky tied story and speech together.
Wonderful. That shows emotion carries grammar.
Exactly. When the heart is full, it handles the details.
Maybe our listeners can test this. Find a moment full of feeling and start talking.
Yes. Tell a friend a story when you're happy or sad.
Feelings push the words forward.
And mistakes fall off the back of the wagon.
Mike, we have now gathered many examples. Grill, dog, bike, music, humor, feelings.
all show that setting, emotion, and motion help.
That gives courage, I think.
Me too. I notice how smoothly we speak right now.
A good sign. We are deep in the topic.
Shall we move to the next part where we let go of perfect lines?
Yes, but first let's breathe deep and give listeners a small break.
Good idea. Stay with us, grab water or coffee.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back, dear listeners. Now we talk about perfection.
Or better, about the end of perfection.
Exactly. We want to show why mistakes can be friends.
Mike, do you remember the language class we took together?
Yes, last spring.
Our teacher said a line that hit me.
The one with the shoes?
Right. She said, "A word with a scratch is better than a perfect thought in the closet."
I loved that image. A word is like a shoe. You have to wear it.
Otherwise, it stays new but useless.
After that line, I changed my goal. Before, I wanted to talk like a dictionary.
And now?
Now, I want to talk like a human.
Many years ago, I gave a talk at college. I wrote every line and practiced for days. On stage, I looked at the paper and forgot the audience. I could hardly answer questions because they were not in my script.
You were trapped in the manuscript.
Yes. Today, I use only bullet points. My lines can be crooked, but I see the eyes of the listeners.
That makes the contact real.
What helped you to let go?
A tip from a friend. He said, "Speak as if you are cooking."
Interesting? What does he mean?
When I cook, I taste and add spice if needed. I can season each line the same way while speaking.
Nice picture. So better season live than learn a recipe by heart.
Exactly. And if the soup has too much salt, whatever, move on.
I also had an aha moment in a coffee shop. I ordered a big coffee with milks. The barista just smiled and handed the cup. No correction, no comment.
That helped you?
Yes. I realized mistakes often bother only me, not the world.
I once said, "A apple." My coworker grinned but answered normally.
And the day went on.
Right. The earth kept turning, wrong article or not.
Dear listeners, maybe you know this fear of articles. Believe us. The bread tastes fine even without the right little word.
Write us your funniest article mistake.
Mike, do you think mistakes also show personality?
Yes. My accent shows my roots. That makes talks colorful.
I think so too. A small stumble can open a door. People often ask, "Where are you from?" Then a new topic is born.
Mistakes as icebreakers.
Exactly. Recently on a train, I said, "I've went to many places." The lady across corrected kindly, "I have gone to many places." Then she told me about her trips. We talked for an hour.
So the mistake brought you together.
Right. Without it, we might have stayed silent.
Another point. Children learn through mistakes, too. They say, "I goed." No one stops the world for that.
True. Kids don't lose courage. They keep talking.
We adults should be more like kids. Curious, bold, loud.
I sometimes practice baby talk alone, just to feel loose.
Really?
Yes, I say car goes vroom and laugh. After that, I'm relaxed for meetings.
Cool method.
Do you have rituals?
I set a time limit. In meetings, I may think for at most 3 seconds. Then I speak, even if the sentence is not ready.
And does it work?
Surprisingly well. Most of the rest of the line appears while I talk.
That reminds me of drawing without lifting the pen. The pen stays on the paper. The line finds its own path.
Nice image. Language is a line, not a dot.
Exactly. Dots stop the flow.
A teacher once told me, "Speak, then think." At first I found that crazy.
Because we learn the opposite. Think first, then speak.
But in talks, the opposite is often true. Thoughts sort themselves on the way.
Like on a walk. Start moving, then you see where you want to go.
Yes. If you stand still, you only see the crossroad.
A friend of mine does improv theater. There the rule is yes and
Meaning,
on stage you never say no. You accept the other's idea and build on it. That creates flow at once.
we could use that while learning. Mistakes are ideas. We say yes and instead of stop, wrong.
Exactly. Then the talk grows.
Jessica, are you afraid of embarrassing mistakes?
Less than before. I think embarrassment lasts 10 seconds, silence sometimes much longer.
Good line to write down.
Thanks. Maybe stick it on the fridge.
And next to it a note. Make at least 3 mistakes today.
Haha. Challenge accepted.
Dear listeners, join us. 3 mistakes per day. Who can do it?
Write us which mistakes you celebrated.
We read them without a red pen, promised.
Mike, I feel we reach the core. Courage is more important than grammar.
Yes, grammar follows like a shadow.
And a shadow needs light, meaning words.
Very poetic, Jessica.
Thanks. I think that was a nice picture to close this part.
I think so too. In the next chapter, we will sum it all up, okay?
Yes, good idea. Let's breathe and sort the points.
Jessica, now we want to talk about rhythm, right?
Yes, the flow in a talk interests me a lot.
I notice that when I listen well, I find the beat automatically.
Right? Listening is like a metronome. It sets the beat.
I used to plan my answer while you were still talking.
I know that. Then you barely listen at all.
Now I try to echo your last word inside first. Then I answer.
Nice exercise. It creates a small pause but no hole.
That keeps the talk like a ping-pong game.
Exactly. The ball flies. No one holds it for long.
My example comes from the office. A coworker and I had to fix a problem fast. We pictured we were jamming music. One plays, the other adds. No long sentences, just short pulses. In 10 minutes, we had a plan.
Great. So the jam session picture helped you.
Yes. Language as guitar, ideas as chords.
In my case, something similar works while cooking for 2. One person chops, the other seasons. We talk in short bursts. Pepper's done. Salt okay? Lid on. Few words, but the rhythm fits. Later, at the table, the talk flows longer and easier.
Interesting. Short work phases build trust. Then language can dance.
Exactly. Another point is breath. When I breathe shallow, I chop my lines.
Oh yes, I know that. Deep breathing gives longer arcs.
You can even listen and count inside. Inhale 4 beats, exhale, think, then speak.
Sounds almost like meditation.
It is. Speech and breath are twins.
I once heard a podcast. The host suggested starting your answer with a small That buys you a heartbeat of time.
True. That "m" feels natural and fills the gap.
Do native speakers use that too?
Very often, they say so, right. These filler words keep the beat.
I used to think fillers were mistakes. Now I see them as rhythm tools.
Well said. A talk without would be like a song with no rests. Very tiring.
So we can celebrate small pauses.
Yes. A pause can also show interest. If you stay quiet a second, you show you truly listen.
Last week I tested that with my neighbor. She talked about her garden. I waited 2 seconds before I asked. She smiled and spoke on, even deeper.
Pause gives space the other person likes to fill.
Sometimes rhythm is also shared silence.
Yes, silence can be part of the music.
What about speed? Some people talk very fast. Then I lose the beat.
Me too. Then I focus on key words. I let unimportant words drift like leaves in the wind.
Nice image. I nod on purpose to stay in the beat.
Nodding helps a lot. The body shows where the beat is.
In video talks, you sometimes can't see the nod well.
True. There I often say, yeah, got it, to make the nod audible.
Clever. Small confirmations are like drum hits in the back.
Speaking of drums, have you ever counted in your head, 1, 2, 3, go?
Yes, during presentations. I build lines in sets of 3. Statement, example, small joke.
That gives structure and keeps listeners awake.
So rhythm is also order.
And order creates safety.
When I feel safe, I think less about grammar.
Exactly. Then spontaneity can grow.
Dear listeners, what brings you into flow? Music, pauses, movement? Write us.
We are curious about your daily rhythms.
Jessica, do you feel our talk today is itself an example?
Yes, we hop lightly from image to image, line to line.
That is fun and shows. Flow appears when you don't force it.
Right. You set conditions. Listen. Breathe. Allow pauses.
Then magic happens.
I think that was a good round, Mike.
I think so too. We have gathered many small tools.
Maybe we should soon tie it all together.
Good idea. Let's move to a summary next. I think that was a nice final thought, Jessica. Shall I give a quick summary of what we covered today?
Gladly, Mike. A summary always helps.
First, we spoke about how too much thinking blocks speaking. We gave examples, from phone calls to the grocery store. Then came the relaxed moments. Grill, dog, bike, music. We saw that a friendly place, movement, or humor can free words. Next, we dropped perfection. Mistakes became friends, bright dots in the talk. We shared stories of wrong articles, cheese holes in English, and improv theater. After that, we found rhythm. Listening, pauses, a small or a nod build a beat for words to dance. At the core stays one idea. Courage beats grammar, and flow appears when head, heart, and breath join. That sums up our journey this episode, I think.
You nailed it. I would only add that we always ask listeners to share their own stories. Each story widens the sound of our little podcast world.
Absolutely. That brings us to the goodbye part. Jessica, it was a pleasure to talk with you again.
Same here, Mike. I enjoy our talks every time. Today felt especially warm and honest.
True. I even noticed that during recording I thought less about words than usual. A good sign.
I felt the same. Maybe our own topic worked right away. A bit of irony, but a nice one.
Dear listeners, thanks for staying with us until now. We hope you had a calm, pleasant time, and perhaps a new view on free speaking.
If you enjoyed the episode, please keep in touch with us. Tell us about moments when you spoke without long thinking. We are eager for your examples, funny, messy, or simply human.
We read everything with joy and without a red pen. Your feedback helps us find more topics that move you.
For today, we say thank you. Maybe take a break now, breathe deeply, or play the episode again in the background.
We say goodbye, as always, with a smile.
Take care and stay curious.
See you next time.